This Serena last night, just south of Mackay. On the way home. Pretty much the first little motel I pulled into. It's old, but it works. Hopefully get south of Brisbane today. Hopefully. We'll see how that goes. The hands are actually the worst out of everything, just from the vibration from the front wheel. So that's the thing that's hurting me at the moment. But it's all good. Get this glove on. Ah, there we go. It's already like 24 degrees. I'm already sweating. Fun. Alright. Leave the key in the room, lock the door. Done. Now this is an absolute bogan. If you don't know what bogan means, just Google it. There's many different types throughout Australia. This is a rural Queensland bogan. Like, why would you have that on the back of your car? Like, seriously. Yeah. Anyway, back to it. So it's about a 70k detour to come and see the Bundaberg rum distillery, but I had to come and check out the big Bundy bottle. Now, if you're thinking that alcohol is cheaper if you buy it from the source, you're completely wrong. Because Bundy here is exactly the same price no matter where you buy it anywhere in Australia. So that is a little disappointing, considering you don't have to pay for transport costs or anything like that. So here's a little bit of the cane train that brings all the sugar cane to the distillery. Goes for probably up to a kilometre, that thing was massive. It's getting late in the afternoon now, so I jumped back on the bike and started heading off. Okay, I'm in Gympie. What do the hotels say? No vacancy. Stopped at the first one that had a vacancy sign, and guess what? No vacancy. Too lazy to change the sign over. That one job, people. If you're full, say you're full. Alright, I'll keep motoring towards Brisbane. find something down there. So after not really being able to find anywhere to stay, I just fanged it all the way through Brisbane, Gold Coast, and started heading down towards Byron Bay. Came across a couple of little rest stops, but even they weren't allowing anyone to camp there, and you didn't really want to camp here either, not with signs like this. So I managed to find a park bench, put my earplugs in, and tried to get some sleep. Alrighty, currently at Byron Bay, super windy, not going up to the lighthouse. You can see behind me the gate shut. That's the beach over there. So yeah, on the way back, I thought I might as well check out the easterly-most point. So yeah, here we are. So after a quick chat with the guys at Desmo HQ, picked up some service parts. We both still can't understand why Ducati don't make the outer rim, but it is what it is. I'll get some aftermarket ones and back on the road. Fully booked out, even campsites. They haven't upgraded there. No vacancy sign. Like, what's the point in having a sign? No one seems to use them. Okay, finally found a motel. Although this one apparently doesn't have a car park with this room, so I'll put the bike there instead. Right out the front of my door. This is room 1, but apparently this car park here is for room 2. And apparently all these rooms are booked, or so it says, but there's all the keys still hanging up for those rooms, so we will see later today. So after all that last night, there was actually no one that actually stayed in number 2. Bed's all still made up and everything, so, and there was only one other car that pulled in here last night, so there was heaps of empty car spots. Don't know what he was on about. finally at Pheasant's Nest. This place is pumping. Check the air pressure in the tyre. Get it back up to 35. Dun 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 dun. Dodge all the cars. Dodge all the cars. Dodge all the cars. Air and water. That is us. It's staying there going. Well, someone had fun. Not sure how a bra will help inflate the tyre. Maybe they had to take a bra off to inflate something else. By the time I'd left Pheasant's Nest and actually got to Goulburn, the weather had changed like ridiculously. The wind had picked up. It was like 100k an hour gusts. It was blowing you all over the road, and it had started to sleet. It was -2 at this stage, and heading towards Canberra. I checked the weather when I was having some lunch, and there was snow up in the hills south of Canberra. So I decided to change plans and head towards Yass to go back down the Hume. I was weighing up the decision at this point whether I should continue into Canberra or keep going to Yass. But I wanted to see how bad the weather got, and by the time I got to Canberra, it was ridiculous. Very rare in this place with water in it, let alone looking like a sea. I might try and find some accommodation in Canberra because it's freezing. Air temp 4 degrees. Apparently it feels like -2. I believe it. Sounds like a bit cold. So I really struggled to find any accommodation in Canberra that wasn't ridiculously expensive. So I decided to head back onto the Hume Highway and head out towards Yass, where I managed to find something that was reasonable and not a place that is actually trying to rip you off. I even looked further south to Cooma, and they were more expensive than Canberra just because it's ski season. Like one place I'd stayed at once before was about $100 a night. They wanted $380 a night. It's like absolutely ridiculous. And I wasn't even sure I could get through to there anyway because of the amount of snow that was coming that night. So I thought it would be a lot safer just to head straight back out to the Hume Highway and go through Yass and come down to Melbourne that way. It's a boring trip, but it had to be done considering the weather was getting worse. Oh, alright, so made it to my room in Yass. It's old, but it will work. And they've already put the heater on. So that's good. Look at my hands. Oh, these gloves are good. They were too hot for the top end, and they're too cold for the bottom end, especially when it's raining because they're not waterproof. I was thinking about putting my waterproof gloves in, but I didn't want to carry them all out north and all the way back south, and then I probably wouldn't have needed them. But it's time to jump in the shower, I think. So it was time to leave Yass. My final night out on the road before getting home. Had a really nice meal from the RSL there last night though. It was delivered and everything, didn't have to go anywhere. It was good. pretty much stayed in the room, had a shower, dried everything off, ready for today, and hopefully the weather's going to get better. Now we'll just get some fuel and we'll hit the highway and start heading south.
Right, at Wallen, where it all started 8 weeks ago, well roughly when I mentioned what was going on. I was here with cracked rib, just going, ow. Oh, sun's out for a little bit, but I want to see which way this is going, because I'm sort of going in that direction. Right, get some fuel, and then I'm going to get some lunch, I think, because it's 240 till home from here, so that will leave me with a little bit in the tank. It's not too much, but I can't lift it off and change the air filter next week and see how much dust it actually sucked in. Alright, see you once I'm back on the road.
Alrighty, hope you liked the Cape York trip. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you hit subscribe, you'll get to see me fix all the parts on this and do some upgrades as well. And then we will work out where we're going next. See ya. Alrighty, day after Cape York trip. So returned home yesterday afternoon. Now it's time to wash all this. So you can see here, a lot of red dust through it. The air vents, they were white. Got all the red. All I'm going to do, put it in the bathtub, give it a good soak with the hose before I put it in the washing machine. Because all these vents were open, going through Cape York, like all that was bright red, but because we've come through a massive storm in Canberra yesterday where it was -2 and sleet and 100km/h winds, it gave a little bit of a wash. You know, fingers are still frozen, but the suit got a bit of a wash. Alright, let's throw it in. What do you reckon, George? Yeah, George? George? Hey, what do you reckon? Give it a wash? Yeah? You need a wash too. I've washed this a few times in the washing machine before. Normally you're supposed to have all the zips zipped up, but in this case, if it's all fully dirty, let's give it a bit of this stuff. There is a special wash you're supposed to use, but I've only ever used this stuff. It's a fairly light detergent. and get in there in all the cracks. Probably let it soak in here all day, and we'll see how much red comes out before we put it in the washing machine. Alright, I'll do the same with the pants, and we'll see how much dirt comes out. Alright, it's been about 2 hours. It's not as bad as I expected, actually. Let's have a look in the vents. Find where the vents are. That's still a bit dirty. Well, this is going to get drained off and go in the washing machine. So the vents are still dirty. You can see there. Alright, we'll see how they go after they go in the washing machine, I suppose.